bizarre foods.
In all honesty, just a little too bizarre for me.
I'm entering a labyrinthine world, a place where they've built some big walls intent on keeping out the modern world.
That is a stunning piece of camel.
An exotic time warp where you find things that are beautiful and things that are scary.
I've been a lot of hardcore places, and this pushes just about every button I have.
And plenty of food that's beautifully made and as intimidating as it gets.
This looks very much like a Dr. Frankenstein experiment.
It's the city of Fez in the Kingdom of Morocco, where I'll have a new encounter with camel meat aged a year in its own fat. On my last visit to Morocco, this didn't go down too well.
Oh my God.
That was then. This is now.
What happens here is you bite down on a piece of it and out gushes this weird juice.
So leave the 21st century at the gate and bring your walking shoes, your pack animal, and your appetite.
This is really, really good. And I like just the hint of bull testicle.
I'm Andrew Zimmern, and this is Bizarre Foods.
It happens suddenly, right in front of you. A fascinating friend, an amazing meal. And before you know it, you're alive in a way you never imagined. I live for those moments, pursuing the exotic and unfamiliar, especially when it comes to the food. If it looks good, I eat it.
The city of Fez was founded about 1,200 years ago by one of Morocco's first kings. It's in one of the most beautiful regions of Morocco, a crossroads for caravans and conquering armies. And here's what's most unique about Fez. Within the modern city, behind walls that are almost 1,000 years old, is Fez al-Bali, Old Fez. This is truly a medieval town, alive and well and fully functioning in the 21st century. And the heart of any medieval city is the marketplace. Here they call it a souk, and people shop and hang out here every day of the week. People's homes are small. They have few modern conveniences, so people come here to socialize and to buy their food fresh each day. It's the center of daily life in the city, and since I'm going to be here a lot, I need a true expert to show me around and help me make some friends. Abdelkrim Radadi is the cultural affairs specialist to the U.S. consulate in Morocco, and he knows everything about and everyone in the old souk.
The best cumin gives its smell when it's squeezed.
Hand-picked cumin is one of those essential Moroccan spices. You can taste it in every dish.
And you smell it.
That's nice. It's very sweet, like a flower.
Cumin I've seen, but this is something more interesting. Twigs of arxus, a sweet spice seasoning used for infusions. Think of it as a variant on cinnamon bark.
This is from a tree that grows nowhere but in Morocco. It's very sweet. The way you do it, just watch what I do.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah.
It's very sweet.
Like licorice.
Yeah, it's licorice.
Take the bark off.
Arxus is commonly used to remedy a sore throat. It's also a key ingredient in the making of everyone's favorite tonic, snail soup.
Bring it on.
Snail soup is a great way to relieve the symptoms associated with the common cold, and it's readily available around Fez in the wintertime.
Maybe you have one with even has its little ears still on it. See, that's a nice snail. It's very, very earthy. Frankly, they taste more like mushrooms than anything else. The texture of mushrooms, the flavor of mushrooms.
One reason the food here is so good is that so much of it is handcrafted, like the olives at Mustafa's olive stand.
Mustafa is special about something.
Yeah.
He has his own farm and he picks his olives. And it's the pick of the day. For example, the reddish ones are picked at dawn when there is little mist and it helps them.
Are you kidding me?
That's true.
You have to love a shop where the guy who's selling you the olives is also the guy that tends the tree, picks them, and cures them.
Yes.
These olives were cured in lemon, parsley, chilies, and oil extracted from local oranges.
They're so sweet.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. They taste like grapes. I really have never tasted olives quite like that. I love this place.
As you travel towards the center of the souk, the road widens and the crowd grows exponentially. This is Tala Kabira, the main artery of the old city.
Oh, look at that. That is beautiful.
This is kefta, seasoned ground meat, and next to it is my lunch, skewered veal liver in fat cubes, spiced with cumin, paprika, and chili, grilled over hardwood charcoal. Quick, easy, cheap. It's a popular snack in Fez.
It is a feast.
It's a feast, and normally this should be prepared at home. But because of the practicality of houses are getting smaller and smaller, and people cannot afford to have charcoal at homes.
Correct.
So they would come here and have it made.
Well, I'm a liver guy from way back when. Wow. I'll tell you something. Hot off the grill, that's unbelievable. That is just juicy and minerally. And you can see how the juices just get squeezed into that bread. That is good eating, period.
A strong, savory veal liver deserves a sweet follow-up. These guys are making shakes out of milk, ice, and fresh market ingredients, like berries and avocados. That's right, it's an avocado milkshake. Oy vey.
Oh, my Lord. It's hard to put my lips to this. When I think avocado, I think guacamole. It's good, but not great. Avocado has that oily, nutty flavor that I love when it's pushed to the savory side. When you pull it over to the sweet side, I don't know, it just seems odd to me. Avocado milkshake, in all honesty, just a little too bizarre for me.
As day turns to night, people start hitting the souk for more substantial meals. I've already had kefta once today, but not like this.
This looks very much like a Dr. Frankenstein experiment. I mean, right down to the crackled skin from the spleen.
This is taihan, an everything but the kitchen sink kefta. Beef pancreas, liver, testicles, and camel sausage, ground together with spices and cooked inside a fresh camel's spleen.
So the way to use the spleen, because nobody likes spleen, is to stuff it with other foods that people like.
That's right.
And otherwise, you make them eat it.
Yeah.
All right. This is really, really good. Really good. And I like just the hint of bull testicle in it. You can really pick up. That's fantastic. Here's the deal. If that rooster crows one more time, the headache that I'm beginning to get is going to get into my... Oh, my gosh, enough already!
Can you talk to him?
No, what I want to do is I want to walk off the 375 pounds of food that you shoved down my throat. Shukran. Sure, I love this guy.
If the grab-and-go food in Fez is this good, imagine how fabulous the fancy food here can be. My next meal is in a mansion, where I'll become the first man allowed to try his hand at a royal dish.
Back off. Give me a little breathing room, sister.
Where I'll very nearly touch off an international incident.
No. Totally understand. I got carried away.
And where the main ingredients might come as a bit of a surprise.
How many pigeons are you buying?
Noticed, business here in Old Fez is dominated by men. Men pour the tea, drive the donkeys, serve the food. What do you want for that? And sell the ridiculous knickknacks.
I just got ripped off.
But there are women here too, many of them working to support themselves and their families. It's a recent development for this traditional Muslim country. 20 years ago, these women would have been expected just to stay at home. Even today, tradition dictates that most work only in kitchens. But the opportunity is there, and some are taking it beyond all expectations. This is Samira Tazi. She's a blogger, cooking instructor, and acclaimed chef who makes a living running one of the finest kitchens in town. But she still starts her day in the souk, shopping for the day's ingredients.
Notice what's happening here? Samira is rushing because she just needs to shop. But all I want to do is snack.
Tonight, Samira is showing me how to make an ancient dish, once reserved for the nobility of Fez. To make it, you need almonds, eggs, onions, and warka. Making warka is an art form. Flour and water lightly rubbed on a heated copper dome. Paper thin, this light pastry will be the perfect packaging for our main ingredient.
How many pigeons are you buying?
12.
It's a good number.
A classic Bastia recipe calls for fresh pigeon meat. Some pretenders make it with chicken, not the real deal. Ingredients in hand, it's time for Samira to head to work. This is Riyad Laroussa. Samira's been running the kitchen here for 5 years. It's an ancient estate, once home to a high-ranking politician in Fez. For years, it sat and became run down, a faded relic. Thanks to a lengthy renovation process, it's one of the finest guest homes in the city, and the soul of this place is the kitchen.
Ladies.
Fatima, Nisa, and Siham are Samira's close friends and co-workers. They've been cooking together here for nearly 5 years.
Here, all the women, this is their first time they work here. Before, they stand just at home.
It's a big change culturally here in Fez.
This is the big step for future.
women work.
Yeah.
It's a dramatic step forward for the women of Fez, but amidst all that progress, old traditions die hard.
So when do I get to make one?
You like make one?
Why are you so shocked?
Because here in Morocco, just the women, they make cooking.
Would I offend anyone by trying to make one?
Yes.
I should just stay out of it?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, okay.
Sorry.
Here
No
in
problem.
Morocco, just the women.
No problem.
And you don't see any man in my kitchen, but you.
The pigeons are cooked in saffron and smen, then shredded and mixed into a thick sauce of fried eggs, onions, almonds, cinnamon, and olive oil. Fatima El Hamadoui is the head Bastia maker here.
Fatima looks like she's made this a couple of times before.
The egg and pigeon mixture gets wrapped in the warka, smeared in butter, and tossed in the oven.
I give you one to make one.
What?
I give you to make one after.
You're gonna let me make one?
Yeah.
No way, really?
Yeah.
Why'd you change your mind?
Because you are my friend.
Guilt. You see that? You see that? I know how to work it. Grandma Zimmer taught me how to do that a long time ago.
Under Fatima's watchful eye, I set off on the first man-made Bastia in the history of Riyad Laroussa.
You wash your hand.
Of course. Wow, she is tough.
Bastia is a revered national dish that these women learned to make as young girls. So the thought of a man screwing it up is a tough pill to swallow.
Back off. Give me a little breathing room, sister. Oh, and another one. And now this one.
The warka needs to be wrapped in the right order, otherwise the Bastia may burst open in the oven and scotch the whole deal.
Good.
The Bastia goes in the oven for about an hour.
Ask Fatima if she was a little bit impressed with my skill.
واش عجبك في سميتو في هذا البرنامج كيقدم؟
Little bit?
No, it's not lot.
I love it. Yes. No. Totally understand. I got carried away.
In this culture, there's no such thing as a friendly kiss between different genders. Only family members do that.
I was so ecstatic I got carried away, and we have spiritual belief systems here. We don't want to cross that line.
Fatima says everything's okay, but I can't help but be phenomenally embarrassed.
I'm glad we got that sorted away, and ooh, thank God I was slow on the cheek kiss.
We've pushed a lot of boundaries in creating this ancient dish today. My hope is it will all be worth it, and that my Bastia won't be a total bust.
I'm very excited about this. That, my friends, is how this dish is supposed to be.
Most pastilla, they dry out too much. The egg mixture is too dry, or they sit around too long, or they're overbaked because of the twice cooking process. Your egg mixture is fantastic, and the pigeon isn't dried at all.
The pastilla is sweet and savory, perfectly seasoned. Hands down, the best meat pie of its kind I've ever tasted.
Thank you very much. We hope to see you next time.
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
I am never leaving. Riyadh LaRussa, just forward my mail. It's that simple.
So the first man to cook in the Riyadh LaRussa was able to pull off a decent pastilla. All in all, a good day.
We're good, right? You and I are good? We're good. Good. Okay. Thank you. I just needed to know. Wow.
To be fair to the men of Fez, there is one kind of cooking they like to do.
Yeah.
But you need one of these things.
You and I with our little clay purses, people are going to talk.
It's a local lunch tradition. How many ingredients can you stuff into one clay pot? And while the stuffed pot is cooking, how much pain can you endure in the name of relaxation?
What the?
Life in the city of Old Fez follows some very old, traditional patterns. Cars and trucks are forbidden. Everybody relies on donkey power. Donkeys carry produce to market, carry groceries home, and carry equipment for visiting TV crews. That's why, during this Fez visit, you'll keep seeing this donkey and his driver in the background.
I love this donkey.
Another tradition here is that there's a unique sort of meal that men actually like making here in the local souk. Today, local chef Tariq Hardeen is going to teach me how it's done. It starts with carrying around one of these things.
By the way, you and I with our little clay purses, people are going to talk.
This is a tangia. It's a vessel that gets filled to the brim and then cooked all day, transformed into a spiced, meaty hot pot, a fall-off-the-bone meal in a bowl.
So you basically build your own and then just drop it off to be cooked.
That's the thing. It's going to be so easy.
I like that.
Right?
It's a perfect way to stroll the souk, socialize, and while you shop and cook, you can stop in at any of the hundreds of stalls and eat some more.
Yeah, this is fantastic stuff.
This is malukia, a slimy, spinachy leaf vegetable sautéed in olive oil, cumin, garlic, and lemon juice. Think okra for texture. Think cooked pea tips for flavor.
Smell it first and see.
Sweetheart, I've put the fermented bungholes of dead animals in my mouth and liked it, so... It's delicious. It's like bitter water spinach, but all that delicious garlic. It's perfect.
That's great. That's great.
The souk is arranged the way it was 1,000 years ago. Spice vendors in one corner, vegetables in the other. Our first stop is the meat souk. Just look for the sign.
There we go.
Rule number one in the souk, go with someone you know. My first visit, this guy sold me a phenomenal stuffed camel spleen, so I know the product he's slinging is pretty darn good. Today, he's carving up some fresh camel ribs. Look at that.
Delicious fat that's going to melt into our dish.
There we go. Shukran.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you.
Butchering isn't just a trade, it's an art form in this part of the world. This fellow specializes only in goat meat.
Did you see that little knife flip move? This guy trained at Benihana of Tokyo.
Within seconds, we've got carved goat leg and shoulder for Tariq's tangia.
That's some nice goat.
Ooh.
The remaining ingredients are a bevy of characteristic Moroccan spices and seasonings. Saffron, cumin seeds, preserved lemons, and this stuff, smen. It's cured aged butter, used as a seasoning in dishes here. It's slightly tart and adds a hint of spoiled cheesiness to a dish.
Yeah, that's some good smen.
And finally, the quintessential seasoning.
His name in Morocco, Ras Al Hanout.
No, this is not Ras Al Hanout.
Yeah, Ras Al Hanout. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I know.
I just have endless fun. I could do that all day long.
Of course it's Ras Al Hanout. Ras Al Hanout is a blend of over 20 different Moroccan spices. Every spice shop owner has their own secret recipe, oftentimes passed down through multiple generations. We've got our ingredients. Now we can cook.
Where's my saffron? Ras Al Hanout.
I dumped it in.
Give me some.
See your saffron?
And the smen.
Am I good here on smen?
You're good in smen.
It's pretty jammed in.
Give it a little stir.
This is going to be nice. Very few homes have working kitchens here in Old Fez, but there's one place you can always find a hot stove. This is Fernacci Hammam Bouchifa. It's a centuries-old communal bathhouse that's built over a huge oven to get hot water up into the wet rooms. The fuel of choice is sawdust. These guys will take your tangia free of charge and cook it for you while you go about your day. In my case, that means stepping inside the hammam to experience communal bathing at its most extreme. Oh, so this guy works here? Oh, so there aren't like super hot babes. There's just these guys. This is very disappointing. Most homes here lack running water, making this one of the only places to bathe. Residents come to these ancient bathhouses to be scrubbed. He just pinched my nipples. Soaped. I feel like a barnyard animal. And stretched. Ah! What the? This is not my favorite part of the day, but it's a decent way to pass the time while my tangia cooks below. The hammam is an essential part of life in this city. So is this place. Tangias in tow, we're finishing our day at one of the classic institutions of the Medina, the tea house. Morocco is a country fueled by tea, mainly mint tea. Here in Fez, you'll find it on every street corner. Hello, how you doing? This is Tariq's goat, sampled with fresh bread from the local bakery.
I'm glad that you like it.
I mean, this is insane. First of all, the goat is perfect.
Yeah.
Right? But the lemon and the garlic and the herbs have just shot themselves through the whole deal. Right?
And you see how soft is the meat now?
Oh, it melts. I mean, look at it just pull off the bone.
Yeah.
It is. It's crazy. This is a monster. It's so good. Here's the camel. That's nice. You know, I wouldn't describe this meat as gamey, but it's got a pretty robust flavor. And just rubbing it on the lemon, it's incredible. A lot of the great food I've been eating in this city is coming from the countryside just outside of town. That's where I'm headed next, to a place where they make one of the world's truly great foods. It may not look appetizing, but it's the taste of a lifetime. Oh my goodness. Keeps you young, this stuff. But there are other tastes I wish I'd never tried. That is one of the worst ideas. A few miles above and beyond the cramped, crowded city of Fez, you enter another world completely. This is Mount Zalag. It's an isolated community of small farms and olive groves tended by people who were Morocco's earliest inhabitants. They make one of the world's great foods, and they've done it the same way for maybe 2,000 years. Spain, Italy, France, Portugal. I mean, these are the olive oil capitals of the world, and very few people understand that some of the greatest olive oil in the world is made right here in Morocco. And some of the best olive oil in Morocco might just come from this little house right here. This is the olive press of El Himer Hamed. Every afternoon, the men of the mountain load up their donkeys and travel to Ahmed's to drop off the day's harvest. Green ones, black ones, brown ones, red ones.
Mixture.
These olives are a mixture from the different farms in the valley. Some sweet, some sour, some crazy, crazy bitter. Oh, this one is soft. Can you eat these? Oui.
It's going to be a little bit bitter.
That is one of the worst ideas. My entire mouth has turned into one big giant prune on the inside. Clearly, not all olives are created alike, but combined on the stone press, you've got the ingredients for making some of the world's best olive oil. A layer of salt breaks down the flesh and helps pull the oil out. And the 3 laps of donkey-powered stone pressing crushes the pile to mush. The olive slurry is loaded into a stack of rope baskets, steamed with hot water, and hand-pressed to extract even more oil. Ooh, I love it when you can actually see it like little waterfalls. The smell is driving me crazy. The process fills a huge vat beneath the floor with over 1,000 liters of pure olive oil. Oh my gosh. Yeah, baby. This is where the flavors from all those different olives combine. Wow. Oh, oh God bless you. Creating a complex profile you have to taste to believe. Merci beaucoup. That has like 3 or 4 different flavors. Here's the deal. Whatever the best olive oil is that you've ever tasted, like double it, triple it. I mean, this is an olive oil with a beginning, a middle, and an end. I mean, oh my goodness. I mean, this is... keeps you young, this stuff. At the end of the day, the oil is loaded up in jugs and sent down to the city. I'm headed the other way, to meet a people most folks never get to visit with, even in this country. The Berbers are Morocco's first people. Traditional farmers and herdsmen living up in the hills. Today, most of them have assimilated into modern cities. But here on Mount Zalog, you can still find pockets of them leading traditional lives. Salam. Nasser Al-Gao shares the home with his wife and 4 children. Today, I get to share one of the most treasured meals in the Berber repertoire. Couscous tagine.
Oh, that's a couscous.
Oh, yeah. That's the real deal. All right. I'm very happy. Thank you very much. Couscous is a Berber specialty reserved for Friday, the Muslim day of rest. Preparing it is an all-day affair. Steaming, fluffing, and steaming again with fresh garden vegetables, chicken, and a healthy dose of saffron, turmeric, and cumin. Lunch is going to be good. Hungry? Yeah, they're hungry. We're being joined by Nasser's cousin and brother-in-law. Yeah.
مرحبا بك.
Wow, thank you. Fantastic. You know, after 5 years of making this show, you'd think I've tasted the best of everything already. This one is just seasoned perfectly. That fantastic sort of saffron, chicken brothy, garlic, onion, roasty poultry thing coming up through the grain. It's absurd. I'm surprised with a wife that cooks so well. He must work very hard to be so skinny.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Please tell him I'm just so grateful that he opened up his home to us today.
He said you're welcome whenever
Thank
you
you.
want.
I appreciate that. Lovely home. Cheers. Here on Mount Zalog, the hills really are alive, and the people are beautiful. Ironically, I am off again to the city, into one of the foulest places I've ever visited. What stinks so bad? Is it this or is it this? And fittingly enough, I'll be eating a BM for breakfast.
BM?
Yeah.
Because I got news for you. When my grandmother called a BM back in New York, you would never want to eat.
This is easily the foulest, stinkiest, dirtiest kind of work I've seen anywhere in the world. It's where they make some of the world's finest leather. Moroccan skin goods are highly prized, and the leather made in Fez is the best in Morocco. It starts in what's probably the nastiest market I've ever visited, and that's saying a lot.
If you could smell this place, it's just moist with dung and animal urine and blood and rotting carcasses.
This is the Fez Hide Market. It's a collection of dodgy characters selling all sorts of rancid, decaying animal hides. Just the place to start the day with a hearty breakfast.
So, I mean, what are you going to have?
For me, I would love what we call here in Morocco BM.
BM?
Yeah.
Because I got news for you. What my grandmother called a BM back in New York, you would never want to eat.
In this part of the world, a BM is eggs and tomatoes fried to death in a pool of olive oil.
And it's ready.
Oh, wow.
Steamy.
Look at that.
This is just like a killer egg scramble,
But without it being scrambled eggs. You just have those beautiful little clotted bits of yolk.
This is so good.
Nothing makes me happier than a nice BM.
Good.
Outside, the morning's hide haggling is starting to heat up. By week's end, these hides will become shoes, belts, wallets available for sale in the souk. Hamid Farah is always in the middle of it. He's the buyer who sifts through these stinking piles of raw material, picking the best quality pieces for the leather tannery.
Now, ask Hamid, which place is smellier and fraught with more danger? The market or the tannery?
Tannery.
Oh, the tannery, absolutely.
Welcome to the Chaoura Leather Tannery. In the 14th century, there were over 100 hide tanneries like this in Fez. Today, less than 10 process goat, camel, and cow skin the way it's been done since before the days of Christ. To avoid the stench, most tourists want to visit from up on the roof, hiding behind sprigs of mint to mask the odor. Management likes that too, because that's where the shops are. But to truly get a sense of the place, you've got to get down on the ground floor.
The guys walking around in the little rubber shorts reminds me of a couple bars in New York City, but other than that, you are walking back into time. This is crazy.
Chaoura is the largest tannery remaining in Fez. It's more than 600 years old, employing 100 tanners at a time.
What stinks so bad? Is it this or is it this?
For the pigeon.
Pigeon.
That's what stinks.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's
Pigeon.
Seriously, pigeon poop. Huge vats of gloopy white bird feces. Believe it or not, the bird guano actually cures the skins and deodorizes them. Workers here knead the skins with their bare legs and feet for up to 3 hours at a time.
By the way, that now is the worst job in the world. Standing knee-deep in pigeon. I've been a lot of hardcore places, and this pushes just about every button I have.
After a series of washings, dehairings, and dousings in pigeon dung, the hides head outside to a series of vats filled with all natural dyes obtained from various fruits and plants.
So the red is roses, the brown is eucalyptus, the yellow is pomegranate.
Skin, yeah. It's kind of, yeah.
Amazing.
Workers spend hours massaging the dyes into the leather with bare arms and legs. Oh, yeah, and the stains are permanent.
He must be working here a long time because his actual legs are red.
Fully dyed, the leather is carried to the roof to dry in the sun. It's an amazing process that takes days. When it's all said and done, this is what you end up with: silky, smooth, fragrant leather.
This is beautiful. This is really, really nice. You guys do nice work.
From here, the leather goes out into the souk, stretched and stitched into bags, belts, shoes, you name it. I've invited the workers to join me for lunch.
This is one group of guys that I really hope everybody washed their hands before we ate.
This is delicious beef, tomatoes, onions, zucchini, all slow cooked to perfection in a clay tagine.
See, this is the beauty of this dish. Everything cooked all in one pot. It's the Moroccan version of a meal in a bowl. I guess it actually is a big meal in a bowl.
It's the perfect meal for sharing. And when the local Tanners Union gets together, it's only a matter of time before they start busting the American guy's chops.
You got some pipes. No, I like that.
This is what travel is all about. taking the time to get to know the people.
It was uncomfortable for me when we were at the tannery that people would come and watch high above instead of coming and seeing what we're doing. Well, does it make them uncomfortable, or do they just don't care?
Let me ask them. So they wanted, actually, they preferred, like, people can come inside and leave what's in there, and then, rather than just, like, watching from outside.
Tell them,
you're welcome to come just, like, inside.
Yeah, good. That's what I thought.
Climb down from the roof, throw away the protective sprigs of mint, and you find a bunch of ordinary working stiffs trying to feed their families.
To you, and to you as well. To you as well.
From here, I've got one last visit to the souk to look forward to. Learning, among other things, the proper way to sample some very old butter.
Underneath the tongue?
And when you combine butter that's been spoiling for a year with gamey old camel slow cooked in its own fat, the result is, well, unique.
So you bite down on a piece of it and out gushes this
salty juice.
Weird juice.
For my last night in Fez, my friend on the American Embassy staff, Mr. Radati, has promised me a family meal found nowhere outside of Fez. That means one more visit to the souk, where it seems I'm always discovering new experiences or getting a fresh take on familiar ones. This is smen. We've tasted it all week in the foods we've eaten. It's cultured, turned butter made from the milk of goats.
Smells like a dead animal.
Most smen ages for up to a year. This is the cream of the crop, aged for over 3 years. And this is how you taste it.
Underneath the tongue?
Because if it stings, it means it's ready.
That's sting, not stink.
Did it sting? Did you get it sting? Yes.
If it stings, that means it's just cultured, aged, and spoiled enough to be used as a flavoring agent in hundreds of Moroccan dishes.
It's very clean, it's very fatty, it fills up your whole mouth with flavor and it comes through your nose. This is incredible, very, very high quality.
And this stuff smells like a whole army of dead animals. But it's one of the things Mr. Radati is most anxious to pick up for tonight's dinner. It's called kalia, one of my least favorite foods in the world. It's meat, in this case camel, that's cooked in its own fat, then left to age for up to a year. So it's basically preserved, spoiled meat. And tonight, it's what's for dinner.
All right, thank you.
For my last night in Fez, Mr. Radati has promised me a once-in-a-lifetime meal. In a once-in-a-lifetime setting. The Radati family owns this 13th century palace with original tiles and furnishings. A cousin, Hanan Bousfia, lives here with her husband and their 3 children. This medieval luxury comes at a cost. Appliances are few, furnishings are spare, and the cost of making any repairs or improvements is beyond affordable. Working in these conditions, Hanan will be serving us a magnificent meal, literally fit for a king. But first, there's the kalia. That years-old mix of meat and fat, it's the evil spawn of confit and beef jerky. Now, it's sautéed in olive oil with fresh market eggs and a little smen. I'm feeling an unhappy sense of déjà vu.
I've only tried this one other time. And did you see the Marrakesh show?
Yes, I did.
My run-in with kalia was not good. I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. Oh my God.
Not good being quite an understatement. But I'm willing to try it again because you never know.
I can eat it. It's just the texture and the salt. I don't know. It's not my thing. So you bite down on a piece of it and out gushes this
salty juice and very weird juice. That's the
weird juice. And weird juice, you just need to get used to it. This is one of those foods I'm just not into. But I love the fact that you love it.
You're mad at me, aren't you?
Yeah. No, I'm not.
Not mad, just disappointed. Kalia is Morocco's national dish and a subject of great pride for most hosts.
I ate my first bite, and it was fine. You're really ticked off. I feel terrible. I feel terrible.
Maybe I can redeem myself by my enthusiasm for the main course. Centuries ago, this was the centerpiece for meals served to royalty. These paper-thin sheets are like a cross between crepes and pasta, smothered with braised lamb testicles, broiled tomatoes, red onions, saffron, and chickpeas, all plattered up. Ancient food, ancient surroundings.
Little testicle, little almond, little trid, little onion. Oh my God. This is fantastic. I mean, the sauce, the almonds, the cinnamon, the balance. This dish is great cooking.
Getting that balance takes a full day of intense patient labor.
This is eat from history.
This is a very ancient dish.
It's a meal famous in Moroccan culture, but with so few kings dropping in for dinner these days, almost no one makes it anymore.
When was the last time you had this? آخر مرة كلتي هذا.
وشحال هذه؟ شحال هذه؟
Long time. This is one of the 3 or 4 dishes that almost disappearing because nobody wants to prepare them because you need a group to prepare them.
You know, the fact of the matter is that they're dishes that are lost, that are barely clinging to the rock of our existence and our culture, because once these homes are gone and your family goes another generation, who knows if there's someone who still knows how to make this.
These are truly the kind of dishes worth preserving, not just for their taste or their composition, but for their ability to bring people from all walks of life together to share a meal.
It's amazing. It's such a treat for us. Really is a treat for us. We're thrilled. Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
The old city of Fez proudly preserves traditions of working and eating and living that have been around 1,000 years or more, thanks in no small part to those large walls. But change happens, even here. And in the wake of that change, some wonderful old things are in danger of being lost, just as other new traditions are being born. Making and sharing food is at the heart of both the honored traditions and the most exciting changes. It's a good reason why you should remember, here in Fez, if it looks good, eat it.